Hello guys, and welcome to another historical battle with WWII. This time with the Fw190F8, the ground attack version. Before anything else, I want to say hello to all the newcomers. Thanks to Jingles for naming me as one of his favorite guys who he would like to play with. There are a lot of newcomers to the channel who are giving me a very nice feedback, and welcome. Enjoy your stay here. I hope you learn a lot and that you enjoy the videos. You can see both plane analysis made in arcade mode, but the lessons from those planes can be applied in historical battles as well. And I got an ongoing fighter combat school series, which is a little bit long to see and at times a little bit dry, but I would recommend you to watch it in its entirety, because once you got the basics of the air combat, everything else makes a lot more sense, and you'll understand the reasons why I maneuver sometimes the way I do, why I do certain moves, the tactics I apply, etc. But back to the video, back to the action. As I told you, I'm in a Fw190F8, sorry. I'm loading 5 bombs, a 500 kilogram bomb under the belly, and 4 50 kilogram bombs. This is in Sicily. This is actually gameplay taken maybe 10 days ago, which I had planned to upload some days ago, but in the end I simply forgot doing so. So, no reason not to put it now. Opening moves, going for that armored column there, and drop my bombs on them to get as much of them as I can. Set a proper attack angle. This is a fighter which has a very strong bomb load, and that really allows you to do very fast bombing passes and then turn yourself into a fighter. The problem is that you are coming very low, and you won't have a whole lot of altitude on you after you make your bombs pass. So what I do here is drop my last bomb, see where it's falling. I miss actually, but the bomb is big enough to destroy the tank which is nearby. So now what I'm doing is moving a little bit to the disengaged side, and I can see there are a lot of friendlies around, so I can concentrate on going for some ground targets, which I'm going to kill using my 13 millimeter machine guns, which are very good for ground strafing, and you have a lot of bullets on those machine guns. So there's no use in using 20 millimeters to kill ground targets. Of course, one of the things you want to remember is that this is a specific ground attack plane. This is a Fw190F8. This is a ground strike version of the Fw190. It is not really a fighter, but can double as one. So always remind that you have two roles. You have the role of killing ground targets, and you have the role of defending your bombers and other attack planes from the incoming fighters. To do so, you want to engage with, as always in a Fw190, with energetic superiority. So try to do hit and run attacks when you don't have a lot of friendlies around. If you are alone, just come in, drop your bombs, and get out as fast as possible. Climb out, get decent altitude, and then you can fly as a Fw190. As a fighter, basically, because there's not a lot of difference between this and an A5. This plane doesn't turn as well as an A5, but you don't want to be turning a lot in a Fw190 anyway. I spot a bullfighter there, and you can see now I have some altitude on my side, I have some speed on my side. There are no higher bandits, so basically I can engage, because if I had come for them before, I would have been lower, I would have been slower, and I would have been in trouble. Now you can see I have spotted there's an higher target, so I want to keep an eye on that one while I go for the other ones. I see the Spitfires are really focused on that lower 109, so I come, miss my first pass. This is actually a problem you want to avoid. You want to have a clear objective and not switch it all the time. My problem here was that I was switching from the lower speed fighter and the higher one, and in the end I ended up getting neither of them. So I see a lower bullfighter there, which is disengaged, and I see I can get a proper gun pass on him without him really noticing I'm about to. So I start by shooting some bars on him by keeping it up. You might be noticing I'm showing tracer for the machine guns, but not for the 20mm cannons. The 13mm machine gun for the Yermas don't actually have any stealth rounds. So I actually use stealth for the cannons and omnipurpose for the HEI or APT, depends a lot. I actually switch a lot between ammos. But for the ground roll, you usually want to go with omnipurpose or HEI. Here you can see I'm using only cannons. He's not seeing my traces. He doesn't know I'm firing, but I'm actually doing so. This combination allows you to both have tracers to adjust for your shot, and to have some weapons that you don't have any tracers for, so in order to surprise someone. If you don't want to give away your position while shooting, you can do so by only firing the cannons. I think you want to remember, if you use this setting, is that your machine guns and your cannons have different trajectories. So at long ranges, where your machine gun tracers are going is not where the cannon rounds are going, but at close ranges they are close enough so you can adjust time with the machine guns and hit hard with the cannon. Right now what I'm going to do is to return and to come back on that Tempest, because I was being helped by you can see there that blue guy. I'm damaged and I'm not actually in the best shape right now because that bullfighter tail gunner really put the heart on me. But what I can do is to leave the guy who tried to help me alone. Sadly, I don't arrive in time to actually help. But well, that Tempest is up there. The other Fw190, which is an A5, is really putting a lot of pressure on him. So the Tempest is going to be forced to turn, and I'm going to be able to close on him. Right now I'm firing only machine guns, because I don't have any cannon left, which is unfortunate. But the Tempest is a very fast plane, and if he starts turning, we can catch up with him, but if he starts running, we are not going to be able to. So still he's very heavily engaged by that Fw190, so he's forced to maneuver, and as long as he's forced to maneuver he's going to be slower than me, so I can close and fire on him. And I get some heavy hits. His wing is obviously damaged right now. I keep on firing. Going down with him. I don't want him to run away. Still putting shots, and hey, I got the kill on a Tempest, which is really nice. As I'm come back to base, because now I'm RTB, I mean I'm damaged, it's obvious to see, and I'm leaving a smoke trail, which is never good. One of the things I get asked a lot, I mean this is a really very common question, is hey Ram, what's the difference between the F8 and the A5? Well, as I told you, the F8 is a ground attack version. It's heavier, so it doesn't turn as well. It doesn't accelerate as well. It doesn't climb as well. But in the basics, it's still a Fw190. So you can fly it as a Fw190 as a fighter and have a lot of success. So what it is a jack of all trades. You can go as a fighter bomber or as a pure fighter. One of the good things about this plane is that at game start you can choose what you want to be. So if you get into an historical battles, in arcade it's totally different. In arcade you can easily load your bombs and go for ground targets and then become a fighter. In historical battles not so much, because you really want to secure the energy advantage before contact, and you have to climb out at the beginning of the battle if you are going for a pure fighter role. But in historical battles at the game start, you want to look at what your team has. If your team has a lot of bombers, there's no sense in you loading bombs. So just load a clean configuration without any kind of bombs and fly it as a Fw190F8. On the other hand, if your team doesn't have a lot of ground attack planes, you can be it. You can load bombs and be the attack plane. By the way, this was a pretty bad landing. Pretty easy to see, but thankfully, I wasn't beyond possible repair, so I could repair it. But I totally messed up that landing. So back on what I was saying, at the game start you can choose between roles. You can be fighter bomber, you can't be pure fighter. My advice, check your team, check what your team has and what lacks, and go for the thing it's lacking or the thing it has. So in the end, you'll be flying this as a pure Fw190 fighter or a mixed fighter and bomber. The thing is, always remember that this is even more pure 190 than the A5. The A5 is a plane with a very good acceleration and climb. Of course, not as good as the BF109s, but it still climbs and builds energy pretty fast. This doesn't. I mean, this is a plane that's maybe without bombs is maybe around 400 kilograms heavier than the A5, and it doesn't have a huge lot more power than the A5, so climb and acceleration aren't as good. So while the A5 gives you a chance to enter some pretty close dogfights at high speeds and to do well in them because it has acceleration and climb to recover the energy it has lost, this plane doesn't do that as well, as good. So this is really a pure boom and zoomer. You don't want to be something else. But that's not a big problem because the Fw190 should be flown as a boom and zoom plane. So in the end, the difference is not that important, and you have something over the A5, which is firepower. You have heavier machine guns, and those machine guns actually do the job. You can see a kill the Tempest with them. So yeah, it's a pretty competent fighter, and gives you a lot of flexibility at the time and at the moment of choosing exactly what you want to be. So that's pretty nice. Well, I recover back to the action. I recover from the huge mess up I did in the landing. I get my plane repaired and reloaded. So back I go. There are a couple of enemy planes still up. We have 3, so this should be ours. But you never know. So right now what I'm doing is to check out exactly what I want to do, because my plan is to go to the target area, drop the bombs, and then go for that Spitfire. But let's say that instead of 1 Spitfire and 1 bomber, those guys have had 2 Spitfires. Then I will have dropped the bombs right now and started climbing. But as you can see, the Spitfire is low enough. And by the way, we just lost a Fw190, so it's 2v2. But as I was saying, the Spitfire is low enough so I don't have to climb a lot to engage him. So what I'm going to do is to speed things up and come back when I'm close to him. So closer we are now, and the first thing I want to do is to get rid of the bombs. I drop them because I don't want to be encumbered when I enter combat. Right now what I'm going to do is to be a pure fighter. The Fw190 which is left is engaged with Spitfire, and seems he's got the better position right now. He's higher, at least it seems he's higher in altitude and has got the energy. But still, I'm coming in for help. I see the Spitfire coming. I get some shots on the Heron and immediately avoid. You don't want to give a steady target for Herons. Now he's going up, trying to get the Fw190. I maneuver, come up, try to get another burst on him. He's clearly maneuvering. And as he goes down, I try to put a proper shot on him, which I do here, critical damage. I don't know exactly what He's got damage, but I see he has killed the other Fw190. So now it's a 1v1. So what I'm going to do here is to beat my time and gain separation. The Spitfire has energy over me, has position. But he's got a critical, I don't know exactly what, but I know his damage. And I still can run away. We still have another Fw190 around, which is going to very soon bounce him. So there's no reason in me staying in close combat. Look at it, the guy is trying to make me turn and stop running, but I'm not going to. Because if I do, he's going to catch up. So what I do instead is to keep on running, winning separation using my higher top speed for a good measure. And now that guy has his own troubles. That other Fw190. So what I do is come up, high yo-yo, reverse on him, and come at him again. Again, boom and plane. I didn't want to stick in a close fight versus that guy. Because there's no sense. I mean, this is a Fw190. I'm not going to outmaneuver a Spitfire in that kind of contest. So I come behind him. I use only cannon. I don't want my tracers to give my position up. And I kill him. So that's the third kill in a plane that's actually a ground attack plane, which is not that bad. But that's the beauty of this plane. That's the amazing part of this plane. It's a very good fighter bomber and it's a very capable fighter. Both things at the same time. Most of the planes in the game are one of the other. They are not both. This is one of them. And the P-47, by the way, is other of them. So, yep. End of the game. Let's see the results. And, well, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys who were asking all the time about the Fw190F8 for a while are satisfied. I will do an analysis of this plane in the future. But in the meantime, see you later.